If I say this is not what you want, I'm only really referring to this is not what I wanted. I wanted to get what I wanted. And of course, because I wanted it, it wasn't what there was. It was something else. And most of all, I wanted to be special. And I wanted to be free of not just suffering. I could say suffering, but I wanted to be free of the emotions, particularly the emotions, the feelings that hurt. Free from pain. I think it's natural to want to be free from pain. But the emotions that I called pain which were mainly sadness, there's no freedom from sadness. I haven't become free of sadness and sorrow and grief and longing, all the things I wanted to escape from. So I really mean it when I say this is not what I wanted, because I wanted to escape. I wanted to be there, to be another way of being, not this dreadfully unpredictable, unmanageable being human. Who the fuck wants that? I at least did make a lot of effort to try and manage my life, to make it better, just like you have, no doubt. And I could say with mixed success. Of course, there were some successes. That's what kept me going. But the wonderful freedom, the dreadfully wonderful freedom, is there is no manager. There is no managing life. There's no one in charge. As much as you want to be in charge, or as much as you don't want to be in charge, you can be neither. You can't actually let go of it. You are the illusion of the possibility of being in charge or not, of managing your life or not. So it seems that life just happens with or without you and your demands, you and your imaginary ability to manage life, to manipulate it to your liking. And of course, that isn't better, because it's just as it is. But it is easier. It's a lot less effort, even when there's effort. Even when there's trying, the trying doesn't feel like effortless trying. So you've heard it hundreds of times before that there's nothing to get. There's nothing in this. There's nothing on offer. Apart from everything. Apart from all there is. And you don't need anyone else to offer you that or to give it to you. It's not for you. And no one else has it either. That's why it's completely free. Free in a way that is unimaginable. There simply isn't anything else. There's nowhere to escape to. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to run. This is the end of all strategies. It's the end of self-improvement. It's the end of improvement. This can't be improved. This is the end of progress. This does not progress. This is the end of decline. This doesn't get better or worse. Life is simply only as it is. And that can sound, maybe it sounds like, oh, Tim knows how it is. No, it's just how it is. Whether you say you know how it is or you say you don't know how it is, that's how it is. So there's no exception. There's no exclusion. You're not included or excluded. No one's included or excluded. No one knows more or less. Absolute equality. Hi, Michael. You're still muted, Michael.
I was reading another speaker this morning.
Well, you want to stop doing that?
It shows up on my page. And the idea that life is just what's happening came up, and I was thinking life is just what's happening through a lens of objectification. So for us, life is just what appears to be happening.
Yeah.
But it could not be what's happening.
Well, I guess we're not to know this, Michael, but without the lens of objectification, there probably isn't anything happening. I mean, that would be my guess. Now, there's no way of knowing that, because to find a human being who doesn't have a lens of objectification, that could be tricky. And I'm not sure what they'd have to say about it, even if they could, you know. how are they going to report back? You know, from the land of nothing. I mean, we're very fortunate. We're in the land of everything and nothing. So we can report about everything, and that's what seems to be happening. We can't report about nothing other than to say it's empty, maybe. That seems about the limit of what I can say. I can say nothing and I can say empty, and then the words sort of dry up.
Yeah.
And of course, the words don't mean what they're intended to mean, because empty can only be seen as something that's empty, and nothing can only be the opposite of something, which of course that would be something too, because it's nothing, the opposite of something, which of course makes it something. You can't imagine nothing, and you can't imagine empty. Well, the only way you can imagine empty is within a container, you know, with a boundary, in a vessel of some description.
And even it's not empty. It's full of air or space. Nothing is empty.
Well, no, but I'm when I use empty, I'm talking of empty of. So of course the air isn't empty, the air is air. But I'm talking, when I say empty, I mean empty of air.
It's full of space.
No, it's empty of space too. So when you work, all of you work on your imagination and visualize that.
Yeah. We are, it seems, confined to and defined by our own unique dictionary of labels, words. And for us, there's no escape. We think of a world that bats live in. Their reality would be totally different than ours.
It's not one that I fantasize. If I'm going to fantasize about being another being, it won't be a bat. I've got far better creatures to imagine being.
Any other being, including humans, I can't imagine what it's like to be someone else. I can imagine what it's like to be female. Only thing I have is the only thing here is a whole bunch of labels and reference points and memories. And that's the world I am confined to. So any conclusions about what might exist outside, or or even what any conclusions about what our condition is, who and what we are, is just an objectification of reference points that were picked up helter-skelter over a lifetime. It's not even nothing, like you say. It's just, I don't know. Well, no one knows or can know. I think there's great comfort in that, knowing no one
Oh,
knows.
that's really all I only want to tell everyone that. More than anything else, I just want to tell you, no matter how much you want it to be, that there are other human beings who have the secret, who have found out, who know, who know. I delight in telling you that in my very humble, I'm not that humble really, in my very humble opinion, there's no bigger bullshit than the enlightened ones, than the special ones.
No special.
And that's the love. The reason I talk about love is because of that. If there were special ones and you could become one of the special ones, that's so utterly conditional. And you would yeah, you'd be a failure if you didn't. Well, there's no possibility of failure. There is no one to succeed or fail. There's nothing more wonderful.
Mm.
Or every human being equally being the wonderfully human being that they are. They're not themselves. They can take no credit for it. They will take credit for it, of course, but they can't take any credit for any of their achievements, any of their abilities, nor any of their failings. So as much as you like to take credit for your failings and berate yourself, there's no greater shit than that. But self loves it, because if I don't take credit, if I don't take ownership of my failings, how the fuck am I going to succeed? Well, I take pleasure in telling you you're not.
Yeah.
There have been no successful human beings. Isn't that the most wonderful news you could ever hear? So you will join the pantheon of fantastic failures that human beings are. And in that, there will be sadness and sorrow and longing and bliss and grief and pain and suffering and death.
Mm.
It's all wonderful. It's all wonderfully unknowable, and it's all wonderfully inevitable. And by inevitable, I just mean, fuck, just look around. Death is everywhere. Decay is everywhere, as is birth, as is growth, as is flowering. Just look at any rose. I've got roses growing all the way around the bungalow, all around my house. And I look at the rose, and then what we tend to do, I always did, was always focus on the just blooming perfect rose. But we ignore the one next to it where half of the petals have already fallen off. And then we totally ignore the one that has no petals and they're just rotting on the ground.
Mm.
But it's all side by side. It's all ever present. This life isn't all blooming roses. It's the dying roses.
Mm.
It's the budding roses. It's all of it.
I think that is the unique perspective of human beings, and what you talk about is the love, not only of human beings, but the love of being. Um, no other sentient organism has this perspective of beauty, of
Well,
scent.
I mean, we have no idea about that, really. We can only guess, Michael.
Well, I think
I'm not sure a dog. Well, somebody you said about beauty. Now, I'm not sure dogs know beauty, but I'm pretty sure there is a doggy kind of love. If you've ever had a dog, you're not going to doubt the doggy loveness. Now, it's not human love. It's much simpler, more straightforward than that. But you could call it love.
there could only be human love because we have a name for it.
Yeah,
Uh, I think the dog experiences the same chemicals, the same dopamine and serotonin, and that we do. The joy of companionship, the thrill and puppy play, and all of that. But they're not aware that they are experiencing. We are aware because we think we're separate from. But dogs don't have the language that creates the illusion of separation. And so they don't experience love because love, by definition, well, by definition, it's unique to each individual, but love is an object. Um, they couldn't, without this complex shared language, have the illusion of separation. They're not separate from the dopamine and serotonin and the other two feel-good chemicals.
probably not.
But to know love, I think, is uniquely human.
Well, I'm going to suggest no one knows love.
Ah, well, it's just a word, of course.
No, but I really mean that.
Ah, okay, that's a thought.
I, I,
Oh,
I don't. I mean, I use the word and it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. Like I'm the love guru. Am I fuck? I don't got a clue what I'm talking about.
hmm.
Um, and the love, when I'm speaking about unconditional love, I'm not talking about the feeling of love.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's ridiculous me using the word because I'm confusing myself as well as everyone else with using one word for about 6 different meanings.
What about beauty?
Well, well, beauty. I just think beauty is always in the fragility, and the fleetingness of whatever is beautiful. The more fleeting, the more obvious something is that it's not going to last, the more beautiful it is. And of course, nothing lasts. Nothing lasts even a second. Nothing lasts a nanosecond. There isn't anything that lasts. And the more apparent that is, the more beautiful, the more obvious beauty is. So where do we see beauty? We see it in a baby, or
Hmm.
or a rainbow, or a bird that just flies. I mean, it's you're not, the awareness of it is no more than a second. If you that anything that seems to remain, the beauty will fade. The sense of beauty fades dreadfully quickly, like painfully so. So you'll look, I don't know if you're like art galleries, if you stand in front of a painting long enough, fuck, it is mundane when it was beautiful on first sight. You might say that with your beautiful lover. A fleeting glimpse of your beautiful lover and you'll be in awe of the beauty. But after 27 years, less so, probably.
I've had 60 years here.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth.
I grew up with the Tetons in Wyoming, and they always took my breath away, and they still do.
Well,
They
yeah.
apparently permanent, for us anyway. Um, I'm not sure we can can know what beauty is. I think that's part of the beauty is
Well,
no one.
beauty, I mean, beauty is about things. Beauty is in objects, and of course, there aren't any objects really. So everything, when I talk about fleeting and temporal and uh, the fragility, because this everything is absolutely fragile. So everything is essentially beautiful in that it's not really fleeting, it's non-existent, but there it is seemingly existent. Well, how could that not be beautiful?
I think your photographs reflect that. I think that's what you're trying to capture is that fleeting flowers, clouds,
Yeah,
Harry when he was
yeah.
a babe. Um, that's all fleeting, you're right. But I'm not sure that explains beauty. Poppies on the road driving into the nearest city from us. I'll say, oh, look at the poppies, honey. Um, what is that? Thanks, Tim.
I just think I mean, everything is beautiful because
Hmm.
it's not real, and yet it appears real.
Because it's not what? I'm sorry.
It's not real.
Oh my God. Oh my. Well, that's a,
So we're also, you know,
it's not real.
we're making up the beauty. You know, the beauty doesn't exist, but as you've suggested, for human beings it does. How fortunate are we?
Yeah.
Because maybe, I mean, maybe in this infinite universe, we are the only place where beauty does exist.
Hmm.
Because beauty doesn't exist. And,
Maybe it's our own
and yet for
beauty.
human beings it does. But I'm not interested in trying to make sense of it. I'm just I like to do a little bit of bathing in the beauty.
Hmm. Could it be our own beauty we see reflected in?
Well, I'm going to hazard a guess no. But no, because the interesting thing, well, it's not that interesting. I used to, this sounds terrible. I used to look in the mirror and think I was beautiful.
You are.
Yeah, I know, but that's you, Michael. You're the one seeing that. I look in the mirror and I go, and I don't recognize anything. I don't see. So this whole notion of it's my beauty, it's almost like the beauty of seeing beauty is much more apparent when I'm not concerned about my own beauty. I was terribly vain. Some would say I still am, but I think it's just habit now. I am still concerned about my hair.
What if
Interestingly, the song "You're So Vain," when I left the second school that I taught in, one of the one of the fifth year, one of the year 11 girls who might have had a crush on me, she gave me a gift of Carly Simon, "You're So Vain."
but you think this song is about you?
You probably do. And I did think it was. Yeah, she was right. She wasn't wrong. Yeah, and that's true.
Just going back, referencing what you said a little while ago, is that perhaps it's our own fragility we see in the flower, in our own fleetingness, and maybe it's the joy of simply being reflected back at us. I don't know. I'm again lost in this wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, you ask questions that seem to have dried up for me. They're the sort of questions I used to ask, and now I don't. I'm not really interested, and there's the truth. I'm not interested in why. I have no idea, and I don't think I could ever know. So the questions don't come up.
And yet there's enjoyment in plumbing the depths. There is
No, well, there
you
is for
show
you.
every week you show up and we talk, or we all talk about this.
Yeah, but I don't talk about, or unless you push me on it, I'm not going to talk about why or the reason,
Uh,
because I don't think there is any. And if there is a reason, the motivation to find out or to inquire about it, I I really don't have an inquiring mind anymore. And I was such a annoying questioner. And
uh,
and now I'm just an annoying know-all who says there's no point in asking any questions. But but not asking any questions, life's so much simpler and easy. Because then the beauty. So what is the beauty? The beauty is just beautiful.
yeah.
I'm not questioning why or how and I think the beauty is more obvious for it.
Hmm.
I don't. I will say, when you said, "Is it our own beauty reflected?" I really don't think that is it. No, because I don't think we have any beauty. Because I don't think there's. I don't think. I don't think I am beautiful. Now that's not to say that I couldn't look at a human being called Tim and think, "Oh yeah, he's not bad for an old git," but that's not my beauty. So even the beauty of this human being, doesn't mind. And I don't think the flower's beauty is the flower's beauty. It's just beautiful flower. I don't think the flower has the beauty.
Oh my. Well, maybe beauty's just another attempt to hold on to something. I don't know.
Well, I just don't think it is that at all. I think it's quite the opposite of trying to hold on to it, because the beauty is in the impossibility of holding on. That's what makes it beautiful. If you
Mm,
could hold on to it, that will kill it. That will kill the beauty. That will make it ugly straight away.
mm,
You know, it's caging the bird. You don't look at a bird in a cage and say it's beautiful, because it
mm,
shouldn't be in a fucking cage.
yeah. It's not a bird.
No, exactly. A bird on a perch is not. You say the bird that just flies across, so it literally appears for a second or two, and then it never was. That's the beauty. It never was is the beauty.
Mm.
God, we've gone on about beauty, Michael.
Haven't we ever? I've taken too much time.
Oh,
Thanks.
thanks, Michael.
Razia has a hand up.
Didn't know I had so much to say about that.
Yeah, hi.
We're not talking any more about
Yeah.
beauty before you start, Raja.
Okay. Now, what I'm saying is we all share this conceptual overlay. And somehow we are all seeing the same things.
No.
It's amazing. Yeah. I look at a tree and I call that a tree. You look at it and it's a tree for you as well. And
We're not all
it's
seeing
like
the same things though, Razia.
yeah, not at the same time, but I mean, whatever we are seeing, there's some agreement about it.
Well,
Because if I look at a picture of a tree and show it to you and you say, yes, that's a tree.
the truth is we have never have any idea what any other human being is seeing.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably, but there is the sharing of I would look at it and I show it to you and you say, yes, it's a tree. So there is this consensus about certain things that
Yeah.
we are seeing, you know?
Yeah, I'd call it a collusion, really, rather than
yeah,
consensus.
yeah, you wonder about that, like, you know? Because now when we talk about beauty, and like what you said, you look into the mirror and you see something else. And Michael looks at you and he sees you as being beautiful. Okay. So for me now, I don't see that external kind of a thing, like, you know? For me, it's something like deeper, like that beauty is like, I don't know, it's like you feel it, you know? Suddenly looking up and everything is beautiful. Yeah. So I don't know whether it's relative, you know? Sometimes, like, am I seeing something like I see a rose and the rose is beautiful? Another person looks at a sunflower, that's beautiful then. So it's, it's, do we see the same thing? So
There's
that's
no
speaking to,
there's no
that's
way of knowing.
speaking to this, yeah, the overlay that we're seeing, you know? We're sharing this and somehow or the other there's some kind of consensus about things, but I don't know beauty if I see the same thing as being beautiful and someone else is looking at the same thing and doesn't appeal to them, you know?
Yeah.
And but when there's this kind of a shift though, I don't know what else you can call it. Somehow everything appears much more beautiful then. There's nothing, there's no, you're not looking, everything is beautiful, you know what I mean? It's like, whoa, oh my gosh, how can this, yeah. But yeah, so that the judging mind kind of like takes a second, it takes the back seat. And yeah, now you're not seeing that even that rose that is not blooming or is almost dying is so beautiful, you know, and yeah, and it has its own beauty. And then, oh yeah, one more thing, when you see a rose, you know, all that thing falls off from the rose. And then if you cut off the top, then you'll have another rose. It's yeah, you have to pluck off those buds on top and then it blooms again, you know. Something I learned, and then I do that. So the promise of a rose is still there. Yeah, that's all. I don't know. That's all I really want to say.
Thanks, Razia.
Thank you.
I'm searching for the name of the singer from the song
Carly Simon.
Carly Simon.
Mm-hmm. You're so vain. I bet Darren thinks the song is about him.
C-A-R-L-Y. It is, isn't it?
Here is no bell going to ring, but it's on the tip of my tongue. It's really, it's amazing.
Wasn't it about Mick Jagger?
Well, there's all kinds of stories. I have done a bit of research. Yeah, there's different theories of who she wrote it about. Yeah, that one of them is that possibly Mick Jagger. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I will listen to it.
And one is
Oh, yeah.
and one is
Warren
Warren
Beatty.
Beatty. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
Nice to hear you, Darren.
Ah, thanks, Anita.
Can you hear the answer in the silence? Can you hear the answer? Listen carefully.
And the question, of course.
No, can you hear the answer in the deafening silence? Can you hear it? I'm such a wanker. No, of course you fucking can't. That's the answer. Oh, I don't know why that appeals to my sense of humor so much, but that is it.
But the no answer is, well, it's not the answer, right? So, but.
Exactly. Come on, Darren. Come on.
I know, but.
Is no answer the answer?
No.
No, of course not.
But at the same time.
Oh, stop it. At the same time.
It's no answer.
Yeah. No, is that the answer then? Is that the answer?
No.
No.
No. No.
It's not an answer.
No.
Sequoia, the question can be any question you want to ask. All the questions. Because if the answer to all the questions is a deafening silence, that might just quell the questioning a little, a bit at least. Maybe not.
Yeah, there does seem to be a relief in there being no answer, and in a way that feels like the answer you're looking for, but it's not an answer.
No.
No.
Well, it's never felt like the answer I was looking for, Darren. I don't know what fucking answers you were looking for. They weren't deafening silence. I'm telling you now.
Well, then, right,
If
I was looking for a different answer.
You tell me you were looking for deafening silence.
No.
I don't
I wasn't
agree.
looking.
I'm pretty sure you weren't.
No, I didn't know what I was looking for, really.
Well, you lucky bastard.
Well, I mean, I might have had some ideas, but I don't think I really knew what I was looking for.
No, of course, no one does.
No.
It wasn't silence, though, was it?
No. Not that not that. No, it was no.
Because there isn't anything in it.
No.
I mean, what do you get from silence? Tone says in the other room, a little bit of peace and quiet.
A little bit of peace and quiet, yeah.
Yeah.
And a little bit of everything.
Maybe. But yeah, well, there is peace. I mean, there's peace, yeah.
I didn't think it was the silence that was. It seemed to be that it was always just there, just not noticed, and it's still not really noticed. But
No, well, there's nothing
just
to
obvious.
notice. That's the,
No, exactly.
well, what were you going to notice?
No, but
Well, you'll notice the bird flying across the sky.
yeah. No, I remember thinking, well, that can't be it. But of course, it's not it either. There's not a. It's not.
Oh, you were absolutely right with that, because of course, yeah, there's it's not it.
No.
And there's a reason it's not it, because there isn't an it.
Yeah.
And
Can't be.
you can be looking for it to your last breath. And good luck to all the human beings who say they've found it. What seems to have happened, I've just stopped listening to them, envying them in any way at all. I have sometimes pity for them, which is incredibly arrogant of me to say so, but I do, because it's because it's still so childish believing in fairy stories to me. That's how it still feels. Anything, you know, that's getting to the crock of gold at the end of the rainbow, you know, that's getting the prize. And it's never going to be popular to suggest that there isn't a prize. There's no prize for being human. The only prize is being human. You're not going to get a prize for it. There isn't a reward. There's, you know, there aren't any levels. One of the things that prompts me to talk about unconditional love is that there aren't any. This annihilates any possibility of there being levels, of any ascension. There's no up or down. There's no loss or gain, regardless of any appearance of loss or gain. So regardless of what music is playing, it's all silent.
I was just thinking, my mum's neighbour won 71 million on the lotto.
Who did?
My mum's neighbour.
Really?
Yeah, and he still buys a lottery card.
What a dick.
Yeah, and I was thinking when you were saying about treasure, because the seeking for the treasure is the discomfort of it. They're looking for something else, and if you find that treasure, you're just going to buy another lottery ticket.
Yeah,
but actually, it's the relief in the not looking for it that's the.
Oh no, there is relief. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's the best that's on offer, really.
Yeah.
Relief from the possibility of winning is there.
Yeah.
And of course, if you can't win, you can't lose.
Yeah.
So not winning is the biggest relief, and not losing. Wouldn't it be brilliant though? Because he's still doing the lottery. Wouldn't it be brilliant if he won it again?
Yeah.
Because how pissed off.
So pissed off.
Can you imagine how? Because everyone hates him. Everyone detests the man already. Because he hasn't given them, all his friends, he hasn't given them a few, you know, 10,000 each.
Yeah.
And then he goes and wins it again.
Mm.
That'd be a good joke. Yeah, I haven't done many. I think I've done the lottery twice in my life. Just seems a terrible waste of money. I could, you know, I could buy 3 bars of chocolate or a lottery ticket. Not bars of chocolate, obviously. I'm going to enjoy that.
I do it sometimes, but only when it's over 100 million.
Right. I mean, how pathetic is that? Don't brag about that. That's even more ridiculous.
Oh, no. That's quite a lot of money.
You know, what would I do with 30 million? That would be pointless winning that.
That's right, yeah.
You genuinely do it when it's over 100 million.
When it gets really high, it's like, oh, that's a lot of money.
Because it's worth it. It's worth it then.
That's right. Oh,
oh, you should laugh about that.
yeah.
Oh, we've had an hour. I'll give a quick plug. I'm in Berlin on the 12th and 13th of October. I'm also thinking, I don't know that I will or not, but I'm thinking of doing a talk at my house over a weekend. If anybody wants to come and visit to see the squalor that I live in, I thought that might be amusing for some of you. I know.
It's not squalor.
It's not squalor. Tony says it's lovely. It's not. But anyway, I've just got enough space here that I could do a talk, and then I don't have to book a room or anything. So I'll put that on my website this week. That'll be in the next month or so. And that would be, I think it'd be nice. I live in the middle of nowhere, but it has got a station, believe it or not. It's got a train station. So you can get here on the train. It's only about, how long on train from London, Darren? Not long, is it?
Not sure. I'd have to have a look, but you've got that beautiful big garden as well.
Oh yeah, if the weather's nice, the garden's lovely. But yeah, I thought I might try that. And then if nobody comes, of course, it doesn't matter because I haven't spent anything.
It's a couple of hours drive from London.
It's a couple of hours drive and about an hour and a half on the train.
Yeah.
So
the land of flat Earth.
Yes. Yeah. Some of you'd be interested in that. The originator of flat Earth theory came from my village.
And where Tim lives on the fens, and the fens are really flat. So he obviously looked out his window and went, well, it's flat, isn't it?
There were 2 things he did. There's these man-made rivers which are dead straight. And he said he could see the curvature he could see that there wasn't any curvature of the Earth along this straight river. It became, he's still going strong. With all the idiots who don't believe in rockets.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thanks for coming, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tim and Darren.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anita.
Thank you. See you.
Take care.